had him as a president, and they were very sad that he died.
Yeah.
So that is a sign of hope then. Although I heard Edda saying, well, we tried our best, we did our best, and we just didn't manage to create a better world. But that is a sign of hope, or not? Am I too positive now?
Yes, of course.
Yeah?
I don't just use some either. So what do you think? I don't know. So. I'm so simple.
Well, come and sit next to it, and Kees as well. Please come and join us, Kees.
So I sit next to you. I'll help you. Yes?
Edda has a microphone, Jáchym, so you can keep that one. Edda has this microphone here at her cheek.
Yes, I have. That's yours.
No, please
sit down.
So Edda, how is it then? Are you positive or are you bitter about the future?
Well, sometimes I'm positive, sometimes bitter.
That's great. Manic depression, you know, something.
Ups and downs, you know. Yeah, that's it. You know.
And have you been to the center that Jáchym is
Yes,
working? Or?
Yes, 2 weeks ago he had a very nice evening. Very nice evening with Vaculík. Ludvík Vaculík was reading parts of his book and his feuilletons from Lidové noviny, from the newspaper, and it was very nice.
And I'm waiting for
Do
you.
it in a microphone.
She was in Africa. She was traveling somewhere in the jungle and so on. And I think that Václav Havel would be very happy to see you in the Václav Havel library.
Okay,
to speak about your adventure life among the monkeys, or I don't know.
Yes, I promised you I will come in September or October.
September, October, okay.
Yes.
You are witness.
And you should all come to Prague to hear Edda speak about Africa. I didn't know
but
you were there.
In Czech. Yeah.
Well, you can do it in English, can't you? Havel described his life in more than one interview as a paradox, and I think in all of your speeches there was something of this paradox. Could you explain what is this paradox exactly?
Yeah, it was a paradox. I think he wrote once. It was long before his being a star of Charta 77, an essay on the gag, a notion from the film which he used in literature. And he said about that it's a nice paradox, I think. Well, it's not comical at all to see Charlie Chaplin sleeping or eating. And it is not comical at all when you see a statue. But it might be comical, might be a gag, when you see a statue unveiled and there's lying down Charlie Chaplin on the statue.
Yeah.
And then something happened, two opposites came together on an unnatural way, unlogical way. It's a little bit absurd, and so I think a paradox came into being.
Yeah, yeah. And Edda, you also said something about the paradox. You said he played his role as a president.
I think sometimes I was observing him that sometimes he enjoyed it.
He did.
Sometimes he was disappointed, and sometimes he wanted to be a writer again. That was his big wish. I mean, he was really fighting with himself to write this last play, this Leaving.
Yeah. And do you think that he also used techniques from the theater world in his presidency? For instance, when he was talking to other politicians or to his staff members?
I think so.
I don't think so.
No, I think so. I think he was.
You are politicians. You know, he was not like actor or something.
No, he was not like actor, but he was in fact directing somehow, but in a way that you couldn't, that they wouldn't recognize it.
Yeah, but I think when you are talking about some politician who is working on politic issue like playwright or something, it doesn't sound good. It's like you are playing marionettes or something. But it was not him. I think that he was really very open.
Yeah, but that can be both. You had here in the Netherlands the tradition of the werktheater, for instance, experimental theater. And sometimes when I saw the movie Citizen Havel, I had the feeling the way they talked was as if they were experimenting how to play the role of being the leaders of the country, so to say. As if it was an improvisation.
Well, you are right, and I am absolutely sure that especially at the beginning of revolution and so on, it helped him a lot. Because can you imagine, you are okay, you are well known, but you are nobody, and now you are standing somewhere in a square, and there is 100,000 people, and you must talk to them. So maybe it helps when you are working in the theater. I think.
Yeah, exactly.
And there is also one important thing: his language. His language was sometimes a bit technical, but beautiful to compare with other politicians. Now I am not talking only about politicians from communist era, about the language of agitprop and ideology, but today politics. So it helped him a lot. And at the beginning he was poet. So if you know how to if you know how to explain things and your language is beautiful, it helps.
And
he was also very shy on the beginning. He had to really force himself to come to the stage or to come to the balcony. He was very nervous.
I've seen him in December '89.
No,
I had a letter from somebody in Holland to bring to Havel. Of course, I couldn't reach him in the Aurora building, but I met somebody else. But I had to go by the staircase up
to his offices.
To the office, and then by chance I met him on the in the corridor, and it was at the moment that he had to speak to the audience at the balcony, and it was like an actor who was standing there, who was in clothes, dressed like an actor. He was how do you say that?
Makeup.
He had makeup like an actor, and he was completely nervous and couldn't speak and was stupefied.
Did he also play a bit with the part of the fool, so to say, the fool of the king, the one who is mocking with everybody? He is a part of the system, but he is also critical to the system. Do you recognize that image or not?
And there was this double role. Sometimes he was laughing at himself. He had always a good sense of humor.
This is great, because if you are a politician and you have sense for black humor, and you know how to make fun from yourself, it's beautiful. It's great. It helps also. Of course, he was proud, and he was so. But if you were with him and you made some humor, it was okay. It was like.
But you can also see in the movie, for instance, that this proudness of him, that he is meeting the Rolling Stones and he is meeting Bill Clinton, and those are the moments that you really see. Okay, I'm here with the big boys, although everybody considered him to be the big boy, but as if he didn't feel that.
He was as a big boy in the pub with them. So he changed the roles again and put Bill Clinton into the pub. So that point of self-irony is very important, I think, for his behavior.
Wasn't it just because he thought Bill Clinton likes the saxophone and I'm going to bring him to a good place?
Yeah.
Were you there as well then, Edda?
No, I wasn't there.
You already left then?
Yes.
Havel said, for many people I'm a constant source of hope, but on the other hand, he said, how can I be the source of hope for everybody, because I am always full of fear and doubts and uncertainties, and He even said, I probably bore prison worse than most of those who admire